Whether you're ordering wings for the game, whipping up a 7-layer dip, or ordering pizza, there's something about football that makes you want to eat. And this football season, Uber Eats has the best deals on game day food. No matter what you're craving, from 2-for-1 pizza to buy one, get one wings, Uber Eats will be dropping new deals each week, all season long. Uber Eats, official on-demand delivery partner of the NFL. Order now. Terms and conditions apply. See app for details.
Looking for a pickup truck to get just about anything done? Look no further. The Chevy Silverado EV isn't just the most powerful Silverado ever, with next-level towing capability and technology. It also offers game-changing versatility with the available multi-flex midgate and tailgate, which means Silverado EV helps you carry large, bulky, and oddly shaped items up to nearly 11 feet in length. Chevrolet. Together, let's drive. Visit Chevrolet.com to learn more.
Chronic migraine is 15 or more headache days a month, each lasting 4 hours or more.
Botox, onabotulinum toxin A, prevents headaches in adults with chronic migraine. It's not for adults with migraine with 14 or fewer headache days a month. It prevents, on average, 8 to 9 headache days a month versus 6 to 7 for placebo.
Prescription Botox is injected by your doctor. Effects of Botox may spread hours to weeks after injection, causing serious symptoms. Alert your doctor right away, as difficulty swallowing, speaking, breathing, eye problems, or muscle weakness can be signs of a life-threatening condition. Patients with these conditions before injection are at highest risk. Side effects may include allergic reactions, neck and injection site pain, fatigue, and headache. Allergic reactions can include rash, welts, asthma symptoms, and dizziness. Don't receive Botox if there's a skin infection. Tell your doctor your medical history, muscle or nerve conditions, including ALS, Lou Gehrig's disease, myasthenia gravis or Lambert-Eaton syndrome, and medications, including botulinum toxins, as these may increase the risk of serious side effects.
Ask your doctor and visit BotoxChronicMigraine.com or call 1-800-44-BOTOX to learn more.
This year, Santa's bringing the power of Energizer into his workshop.
Whoa, the Energizer Bunny's got so much power.
Wait, he's powered up all the toys. I think that means we're done for the year.
I love this bunny.
He's the hardest working helper the North Pole has ever seen. And he wants all your gifts to have the power of the #1 longest lasting AA battery. So this holiday season, stock up on Santa's and the elves' favorite battery, Energizer Ultimate Lithium.
Hey, what's going on, everybody? Mark from Rams Up here. I have a special guest here, Silas Whittle of the Coast to Coast podcast. He covers the Bills. What's going on, Silas?
Great, Mark. I'm great. Thanks for having me on.
Yeah, this is a really interesting game. I was walking into my real job the other day, and there was a guy walking in front of me wearing a Bills jacket. And I said, hey, we play you guys this weekend. And he said, oh, it's going to be a good game. And I was like, yeah, I'm not so sure. I'm not so sure how good of a game this is going to be. Hopefully the Rams can hang with the Bills because they are playing really good football now. Is this the best Josh Allen has ever played?
No, this isn't the best Josh Allen has played. I think it's the most efficient. I think it's the most efficient he's played. It's the most relaxed. It's the most fun he's had playing the quarterback position. I think for whatever reason this year, he's playing as almost like the way he plays is it's almost as if there aren't the expectations that there are on his shoulders. He's playing at a lighter level. It just feels like he's really enjoying football more so than being the quarterback of the Buffalo Bills. I think he's just enjoying being a part of this team and playing football and just going out there and competing. I don't he in years past, I think Josh has felt the weight of four losses of the Super Bowl and being drafted to a franchise basically in the middle of nowhere and kind of having the rich history of almost getting it done and being the franchise quarterback to usher in the next iteration of success in Western New York, coupled with Patrick Mahomes and being drafted with Lamar Jackson and being kind of part of this crop of elite level quarterbacks that are all expected to win at least a Super Bowl. You know, Joe Burrow and the Justin Herberts and Trevor Lawrence a few years later. So I think Josh has kind of come to, it feels like he's come to a place where instead of just saying, I'm blocking out the noise, he actually looks like he's playing in a headspace where he's really blocking out the noise.
Yeah, and I know he's not turning the ball over either, and that was a big knock on him in the past. Maybe it just comes with maturity. He's arrived, you know. He's been in the league for a few years. He's obviously top two or three quarterback, right? Everybody would love to have Josh Allen as their quarterback. Now, how much do it just occurred to me? I remember there was a little bit of controversy early in the season. He made a comment suggesting that not having Stephon Diggs was actually a good thing. And I think he backtracked that a little bit because he didn't want to come off as being kind of a jerk to one of his old teammates. But maybe that's part of it too. He's not he's got weapons, but he's got a bunch of weapons and everybody's pitching in. James Cook, the rookie Ray Davis, the wide receiver group, and you just added Amari Cooper. Well, not just, but recently. You think that's part of it too, that he's just, you know, kind of relaxed and just distributing the ball and playing football?
Yeah, sometimes every relationship is for a time, but not for all time. And I think that that was kind of the situation with Stephon Diggs. I had a buddy I was in the military with. He used to say, "Everybody that came with you can't go with you," and that's kind of part that. If you correlate that to the NFL, you know, there's roster turnover every year, and that has an effect on the overall talent level of the team and how the team is going to perform. But sometimes there are some ancillary effects as well. For, you know, in the case of Mitch Morse leaving and Gabriel Davis leaving, I think those were two guys that Josh Allen looked to in different ways and kind of relied on. Mitch Morse being his longtime center, and then Gabe Davis kind of just being a wide receiver who always seemed to work well, always seemed to have a unspoken communication with Josh Allen, just an eye, locking eyes or a head nod or something. And he just kind of knew where to be. He worked very well with Josh in those situations. Well, in the terms of Stephon Diggs, and I was a big Diggs supporter while he was with the Bills. I think that the things that came with Diggs off the field and after the game just began to outweigh his contributions on the field. And if the quarterback's not right, the team's not right.
Oh
There
yeah.
clearly was something off with him and Diggs, and it's sort of been an addition by subtraction.
Right. Yeah, and this receiver, I don't follow the Bills really at all. I mean, I find out about a lot of players through fantasy football as much as watching games. But Khalil Shakir, he's really stepped up and kind of came out of nowhere. He's getting it done, and with Diggs gone, he's kind of stepped up, taking that lead role.
Yeah, Khalil Shakir was a fifth round pick a few years ago out of Boise State. Um, he's a California kid, just like Josh. Both those guys were born out there, and he's just a hard worker. He when they drafted him, I kind of saw in his rookie, I was like, wow, this kid reminds me kind of Diggs. Like he has that toughness, the way he plays. It's really like Diggs was kind of a bulldog at times on the field, and I see the same things for Khalil Shakir. The one thing about Khalil Shakir though is he just doesn't seem to drop anything. His catch percentage is somewhere around 80%. Last year it was very high as well. I think it was about 85% last year as well. So he just catches everything. And the slot receiver, since Cole Beasley was on the team, has always been a kind of a safety blanket for Josh Allen to have a guy like Khalil Shakir who's excellent, who's got excellent hands. He works extremely hard. He's very physical, and he's got that run after the catch ability. I think that's huge for where this offense is going, is transitioning to, from being a vertical offense with a lot of big explosive plays to now kind of matriculating the ball down the field through yards after the catch, high efficiency, low risk throws as often as possible, getting the ball in the hands of your playmakers. Khalil Shakir's really stepped up. He works in the offseason with former Bills receiver and Bills legend Eric Moles. So you see a lot of that, 1990s, late 90s, mid 90s toughness in Khalil Shakir's game based on some of the offseason preparation that he does.
Yeah, I just looked it up when you said he was from California, and that's what I was looking at down here. He's from Murrieta, California, which is not far from where I'm at right now.
Okay.
Yeah. So now, what's the deal with Amari Cooper? You guys acquired him. What has it been, 4 or 5 games ago, right before the trading deadline? And I guess I got to thinking about that. In my mind, the Bills, in my opinion, are the best team in the AFC right now, if not the NFL. And when the Rams made their run, they added a guy named OBJ to make their Super Bowl run, and it got me thinking: is Amari Cooper possibly going to be your OBJ if you make a Super Bowl push here?
Possibly. I think the impact is probably similar to the offense on the offensive side of the football. I mean, you guys had Cooper Rush at the time. You had oh gosh, the tight end. I keep forgetting. I
Tyler
like him
Higbee,
too.
and yeah.
Yes, Higby. So you had those guys, and there was just something that was kind of missing. You needed that explosive, big play down the field, outside boundary guy. And that's kind of what Amari Cooper is. Amari Cooper is the boundary guy that is filling the role, filling that vertical threat option that we've been missing in this offense. We signed my MVS, Marquez Valdez Scantling, in the offseason in hopes that he would be that guy. Turns out it didn't work out for whatever reason. He's doing it in New Orleans, but he couldn't get it done in Buffalo. We tried Mac Hollins in that spot. He just wasn't creating enough separation, and teams begin to defend us with press man coverage, and um, bringing in Amari Cooper gives us an option out there that will deter that from teams, because Amari is one of the best at beating press man coverage because of his route running.
Yeah, and I have to tell you, one of my partners on the podcast, Paul Walia, is really into the draft. I think you said you are as well. And he does a little segment. He did a bunch of segments in the draft season about under the radar players that he was just in love with. And one of his top guys that he just loved was Ray Davis. And he ends up in Buffalo. And I'm sure you're aware of his backstory. It's a really great story from the streets of San Francisco, basically. And man, you guys got a gem in Ray Davis, and now he's spelling James Cook, kind of a 3-headed monster. Cook, Ray Davis, and Josh Allen. That's gonna be a real challenge for this Rams rush defense, which has been okay. It's actually better than the statistics show. Everybody saw what the Eagles did to them on national television, unfortunately. But prior to that, they had strung together some pretty good games defending the run. But Ray Davis, man, I'm actually excited to see him play. Hopefully he doesn't do too much damage to us, but he's a guy that, man, we really loved him coming out in the draft.
Yeah, Ray Davis. I gotta be honest. I wasn't a fan of the pick. I wanted us to take another safety at that spot. Unfortunately, we didn't, but we did get Ray Davis, and I wasn't. I didn't think we needed to take a running back. With the draft pick, I figured we could take a running back later on in the draft at some point. if not sign one. But they drafted Ray Davis, and I mean, from the moment he stepped on the field, I've had to eat my words and give this man his credit. He's an extremely hard runner. His vision is a lot better than I expected it to be. He, I think he had like one fumble. I think he had one or two fumbles early in the season. Never lost a fumble. He has. I don't believe he's lost a fumble yet, but he had a couple. I think he had a couple early, and now it's just like he comes in the game and he just does not drop the football. We had a game where we missed James Cook because of some injury or whatever. Ray Davis really just. I think that was the Jets game. I believe it was the Jets game, and Ray Davis just destroy. I mean, he just played so well. So yeah, Ray Davis is a smaller back, very very powerful, good contact balance, and the vision is undeniable at this point.
Yeah, for those of you listening on the podcast, I have the Bills draft picks displayed up here on for the YouTube channel, and Keon Coleman is a guy that a lot of Ram fans were hoping the Rams could maybe snag in the second round. But hey, Florida State had a pretty good year. Keon Coleman is having a really good rookie season. The Rams have two of his old teammates, Braden Fisk and Jared Verse. So they will probably be exchanging pleasantries. And Cole Bishop is a guy we really liked. But yeah, pretty good draft pick overall. At least I don't know how much these guys are contributing, but between Ray Davis and Keon Coleman, looks like you hit on two of them for sure, right?
Oh, absolutely, absolutely. Javon Solomon has played a bit, but that we've got a pretty stacked defensive line. So he does get snaps here and there, but not as many as I'm sure he would like. Tylen Grable is another guy we took out of UCF late in the draft. He's a offensive lineman. He's an actual tackle. Um, he's a guy that we took, and he actually won the swing tackle job, but he got hurt, and he's just now he's in his 21-day window to come back and join the team. But yeah, Cole Bishop, we're still working some things out with him. He's not really used to playing. He's not really used to playing in the defensive scheme that we have in Buffalo, so there's some work there. But Keon Coleman, Dwayne Carter, and Ray Davis are really the gems of this draft class. Keon Coleman is establishing himself as a excellent wide receiver too, an excellent boundary guy. A lot of the knocks on him coming out of the draft were, well, he can't separate. He's too slow, and his route running is not where it needs to be. I mean, some of those things can be taught, but one thing that you can't teach is his hands. Like his hands are excellent. He's a physical receiver, and he is very elusive with the ball in his hands. He can run over you, or he can make you miss. He was a punt returner as well at Florida State, and just he's electric with the ball in his hands. He turned a hitch route into a touchdown against the Texans back in Week 5. Uh, so yeah, I mean, I'm ecstatic with the draft class. Cedric Van Prank Granger, the center of the future. Edifanu Ufoshio will be a rotational linebacker next year. Daquan Hardy will probably slide in that corner next year. Travis Clayton is a guy that they're working with. He's part of the International Pathways program, and he's probably going to end up playing right tackle at some point uh, over the next 3 to 4 years. And hopefully Cole Bishop, becomes a starter next year. But this year, Dwayne Carter, Ray Davis, and Keon Coleman are uh, contributors that the Buffalo Bills are depending on this year.
Yeah, and a lot of Ram fans, a lot of fans, football fans in general, have unrealistic expectations when it comes to the draft. You look at 7 or 8 guys, and hey, if you hit on 3 or 4 of them, you're doing okay. It's such a crapshoot. There are so many players that just don't pan out, And thankfully the Rams have drafted really well recently. Um, but I wanted to talk about. I have to come clean on something. Let me see if I can find this display here for you.
So, you want to be a marketer. It's easy. You just have to score a ton of leads and figure out a way to turn them all into customers. Plus, manage a dozen channels, write a million blogs, and launch 100 campaigns all at once. When that's done, simply make your socials go viral and bring in record profits. No sweat. Okay, fine. It's a lot of sweat. But with HubSpot's AI-powered marketing tools, launching benchmark-breaking campaigns is easier than ever. Get started at HubSpot.com/marketers.
Meaningless stuff. Why do we gift so much meaningless stuff? Tired of generic gifts and hollow trends? Shutterfly allows you to create meaningful photo gifts for your family and friends. Whether it's a cozy fleece blanket for grandma, a stunning canvas print for mom, or a mug to make dad smile. Enjoy 40% off with code MAKE40 at Shutterfly.com and make something meaningful this year. See site for more details.
From your fryer to the table, it's a quick trip for crispy fries. But how about a crosstown delivery? McCain SureCrisp fries are designed to go from fryer to container to carrier to passenger seat across town during rush hour down a shortcut that wasn't all that short to a doorstep before they hit the table. And that first bite, the crispiness speaks for itself. To the last bite, McCain SureCrisp fries. Go the distance. See how far our fries can take your business at surecrisp.com/delivery.
Blinds.com Cyber Monday Last Chance is happening now. Don't miss out on up to 45% off site-wide. A Blinds.com design expert can help you make the perfect selection on your schedule. We can handle everything from measure to your whole home installed for one low cost. With over 25 million windows covered, Blinds.com is the #1 online retailer of custom window coverings. Save up to 45% site-wide, plus a free professional measure right now at Blinds.com. Rules and restrictions may apply.
The free agent losses for the Bills, and I have to be quite honest, I was probably, a lot of other people alongside of me probably felt the same way. With all the free agent losses, we thought this was going to be a down year for the Bills. And I remember telling people before the season started, we try to take a guess at how divisions are going to stack up. And I don't think I was alone in saying, the Bills, they just lost too much. But they do have Josh Allen. So, they'll be relevant, but it's not going to be their year. And man, was I wrong. All these guys they lost and significant contributors. And I guess the thing I forgot is they do have Josh Allen, and they have a really good organization, a really good culture there. And I have, for those of you listening on the pod, Stephon Diggs, Gabe Davis, Trey White, who was with Rams briefly, Jordan Poyer, center Mitch Morse. Ram fans know all about Leonard Floyd. And I have a line through Micah Hyde because you just brought him back, right?
Yes.
But that's pretty impressive to lose, kind of what similar to what the Rams went through a couple years ago with some free agent salary cap issues, shall we say, lost a bunch of guys. And the Rams, were able to bounce back and have a decent season, but nothing like what the Bills are doing right now. So I got to give a shout out to the Bills organization, and a lot of people are taking back their words, saying like, "Man, the Bills have gotten it done." So Bills fans must be really excited. I mean, what was the expectations in Buffalo when all these guys were let go? Are you surprised at how well they've done?
So on X, formerly known as Twitter, I have, as part of my handle, my name handle, I have Whittle2K, and then after that I have 12 and 5, and I've had that since the offseason because I believe that the Buffalo Bills were going to win the division again, and I thought that we would be 12 and 5. I am surprised we're sitting at 10 and 2. I had us at this point of the season at 8 and 4, but 10 and 2, I did not see this coming. I did expect the team to be very good, but the defense, the safeties, DeMar Hamlin, Taylor Rapp, and I know you guys know all about Taylor Rapp. I am just surprised. Like Taylor Rapp has become. I mean, he may make a Pro Bowl this year, which is based on where drafting him. What was it, second round out of Washington, and you know leaving the team at not being retained by the team. Buffalo picking him up for next to nothing really on a 1 year deal, and he's turned into a very, very good starter for us. Um, I'm just gonna be honest, man. I'm not surprised we're good. But there was a mixed review. It was mixed though. I mean, there were a lot of Bills fans who thought for sure we were going to be, right around 500. Not really a good team. The rebuild was starting, and they were just saying let's just try to be good by the time Josh is 30. And but then there were some, there were the rest of us who were saying like, no, this is still a really good roster. So
Yeah,
yeah, here we
yeah,
are, 10-2.
yeah. I think there's a lot of fans. I see it from the Ram fans I talk to. Some of them, there's glass half empty, glass half full type fans, and I tend to be half full. I'm usually overly optimistic, borderline unrealistic, and other like one of my partners here, the podcast, Ian. He's more likely to be like, "Hey, let's get real here. We're not beating the Bills, okay?" That type of thing, and so you get a little bit of both. But back to Taylor Rapp, Ram fans, a lot of fans, I think, but Ram fans especially maybe are very fickle. And Taylor Rapp was a very unpopular player here in Los Angeles, and I couldn't quite figure it out because he played with passion. He had some issues. He was a young player, though, right? He had some issues, I think, mostly in coverage. But he was a very physical player that he played with a lot of passion. He wasn't, a great player, but you could do a lot worse than Taylor Rapp. I'll tell you that. And it was really strange. Ram fans never warmed up to him for whatever reason, and I couldn't quite figure it out. I always liked him, and it was sad to see him go. But that's just part of the business. So let me ask you this: anyone that any Ram fan that tells you confidently the Rams are going to win this game, they're just fooling themselves. But on any Sunday, though, right? So I think the Rams have a shot here for a couple of reasons. But let me ask a Bills fan: what do you think the chances are? What do you think the Rams would need to do to beat the Bills? And I'm going to keep this between you and me. I'm not going to give this info to Sean McVay. Where are the Bills vulnerable, and where might the Rams? How could the Rams possibly expose them and basically steal a win?
So to attack the Bills' offense, you need to have a secondary that you trust. When I say secondary, I mean a back seven or a back six, depending on what you play. I think. What do you guys? Are you guys still running a 3-4?
Right.
Okay. So yeah, you guys are running a 3-4. So, um, your back six defenders, um, they have to be capable of playing a good amount of man coverage. If you can play a good amount of man coverage and really get pressure on Josh Allen, force Josh into being a runner, and more importantly, take the ability of the Bills to run the football away. If you can do that, that's going to force the ball solely into Josh's hands, where he's going to have to beat you, as a quarterback from throwing the football or you know whatever, running or whatever. He's going to have to do it all himself. Um, that's step one. Step two is force turnovers. You got to force turnovers, uh, and that's part of the man coverage. If you can be sticky in man coverage and get pressure, maybe you can get the ball. Maybe you can smack the ball out of Josh's hands. He likes to escape when the pressure turns up. Sometimes he carries the ball like a loaf of bread, so you can just kind of smack it out of his hands or whatever. But those are the two things. And then the third thing, um, to attack the offense is to your safety. your safeties and your corners have to be short tacklers. The Bills get a ton of production after the catch. You can't allow that. Missed tackles against the Buffalo Bills are a death sentence. The Bills will eat those yards up, and before you know it, it's 4 or 5 plays, and we're in the red zone. And once we're in the red zone, Josh becomes even more dangerous.
Yeah, I've seen the statistics. We did a little preview the other night, Bills Rams preview, and the statistics were pretty alarming as far as the Bills' efficiency in the red zone. And yeah, I think with the Rams, a couple of things you said are cause for alarm. The Rams secondary does not play a lot of man-to-man. And we are not a great tackling team. It's been getting better, but most of the tackling issues have really been up front. So what the Rams can do, what they have done, I don't know if you've been following along with about what Jared Verse and Braden Fisk have been getting done, but Jared Verse is a beast as a rookie. They're both rookies, and the problem we've been having is we're in the top, near the top in the league as far as quarterback pressures. But we have this issue of letting the quarterbacks escape, not getting them on the ground, and that's what my concern is that Jared Verse and Braden Fisk and Michael Hoyt are guys are going to bring pressure. They're going to get pressure, but if it's not disciplined pressure, Josh Allen's going to slip out, extend plays, make plays on the run. But if we can get a couple strip sacks or something, and you guys protect Josh Allen really well, though, so maybe it's a pipe dream. But the Rams have to, if they bring that pressure, it has to be efficient pressure. Even if it's more of just pocket containment type pressure. And the other thing I think we have to do on the other side of the ball is we have to run the ball, and I think we can. Kyron Williams and his offensive line have had some really productive games. The problem is, they have to finish drives. If we can't finish drives, and you guys have been really good, I think, in the defensive in the red zone as well.
Yep.
So there's a lot of things have to line up for the Rams to steal a win here. And I'm surprised the point spread's only 4.5. To be honest with you, I thought it might have been more like 6.5. But and a lot of times they say the home field advantage is worth 2 points, but I suspect there's going to be a big Bills Mafia presence at SoFi, so that kind of evens that part of it out. But it is a long road trip, and I don't know how much the Bills having clinched the division and a playoff spot. I'm not sure how much that affects a team's performance. I'm not sold on that. They're professionals; they're going to show up and play. But so, what's your prediction for the game? And you can be as bold as you'd like.
The 1 seed is in play still for the Buffalo Bills. They beat the Chiefs, so they own that tiebreaker. So the Bills are going to play out the season as long as they they need to in order to try to get that 1 seed. But again, I was aware of the defensive issues with the Rams secondary and coverage, and tackling as well. So I do think the Bills win. I think that traveling out west is a little easier than traveling from west to east. I think going east to west is a little bit easier. Josh and a number of other starters are from California or at least played college ball out there. They're going to have a large presence of people there to see them. And as of right now, I think I saw something that said 37% of the tickets for this game on Sunday have been purchased by Bills fans. I, I would imagine that there's even more than that are going to be there. I would think it's probably going to be closer to a 60-40, maybe 55-45 split between Rams fans and Bills fans. So I think we do a great job of kind of changing things up. I think we play really, really physical defense against wide receivers, especially wide receivers like Cup and Puka Nakua, who want to kind of create space using their body in the intermediate part of the field, and they want to get the ball to those guys quick. I think we play physical. I think Rasul Douglas and Christian Benford are built for this type of a matchup. Um, I don't. I mean, I think the Bills are playing really, really good football, but I'm not going to take anything away from the Rams being one game out of first place in that division. So I think the Bills do get the win, but I don't think it's 35-10, like what we just did to the 49ers. I know that'll make a lot of Rams fans happy. But I think the goal I think the game ends up being 31-20, 31-23, something like that. Um, I'm never gonna take the Rams for granted. I'm never going to look past them. They have a Hall of Fame quarterback in Matthew Stafford. Kyron Williams out of Notre Dame was one of my draft crushes when he came out. Puka Nakua was another draft crush. I tried to tell everybody that would listen. This kid out of BYU, he's pretty good. He's got a weird name, but he's going to be a good pro. And here he is, Cooper Cup, still, the last Triple Crown winners, wide receiver. I think you guys will be able to score. I just don't know if defensively you'll be able to get enough stops in order to win. So I'm going with 31-20. McVay's a heck of a coach, a heck of an offensive mind. So, I'm sure Bobby Babich and Sean McDermott are up right now working on a plan to try to get ready for this game on Sunday.
Yeah, it's funny. You said one of the scores you said was 31-23, and that was my prediction the other night. I think the Rams, I think they're going to hang around, and if they can get, a couple splash plays, a couple of, maybe a big punt return or a strip sack, something like that. If a couple of those plays go their way, they have a shot here. And I think they're going to have to try to play keep away, grind it out on the ground. I mean, and they can play keep away with their passing game too.
Right.
Short passes to Puka and Cooper. They really haven't had Demarcus Robinson and Tutu Atwell have had their moments stretching the field a little bit more than Puka and Cooper, although Cooper did have that big catch a couple weeks ago against zero coverage. But that's what the Rams are going to have to do is grind it out, limit the Bills' offensive possessions a little, take away one or two possessions and finish drives. That's our only hope. But yeah, I think it'll be a fun game. But hopefully it's a fun game into the fourth quarter at least. That Eagles game, it got away from us really fast, and it became almost unbearable to watch. So hopefully we show better against you guys than we did against the Eagles, who I think are, I think the top four teams in the league in my book are the Bills, Eagles, and Lions right now. And the Chiefs, you're talking about the Chiefs too. And, it's amazing that, the Chiefs, in my opinion, hopefully no Chief fans stumble across this, but they've been really unimpressive to me. They just keep on sneaking away, squeaking out wins. Meanwhile, the Bills are 7 straight games with 30 plus points. And
yes, I believe it's 7. Yeah.
Yeah. And you guys are still the number 2 seed. So I understand what you're saying. You guys, you get one win, and the Chiefs slip up one time. You guys got the number 1, and that's a pretty big deal. If you end up playing the Chiefs or the Ravens or whoever in Buffalo, whoever that, I guess the Chiefs would be the only road trip you'd have to make. But still, if the Chiefs and you guys make it to the AFC Championship, yeah, bring them to Buffalo. Yeah, so I think we're both thinking about the same, 31-20, 31-23, something like that. That seems reasonable. Hey, so share with everybody your name of your podcast and how they can find you if they want to track you down and listen to some of your content.
Absolutely. So you can find Well, first off, my name is Whittle 2K, Whittle 2K, for those that are listening. You can find me on X, formerly known as Twitter. I'm also on Blue Sky. I'm also on Spoutable. Uh, Coast to Coast is the name of the podcast. We are on YouTube. We are also broadcasted by the Do Champions Network. But you can find us on YouTube. If you go to YouTube and you type in Coast to Coast Podcast NJ, Coast to Coast Podcast NJ, it will pop up. You'll know it's us because you'll see the infamous Josh Allen pose at the Miami game last year when we blew them out in week 4. So when you see that picture of Josh Allen posing like those T-shirts Miami wore to the stadium, you'll know that that's us. And we go live every Wednesday night. 9 p.m. It's myself and my co-host Beyond 716. We're both from New Jersey. He lives outside of LA. I'm still here in Jersey, and we're both Bills fans. And we talk Bills. We talk Bills. We talk the draft, and we talk basic NFL stuff.
Yeah, we'll have to maybe sync up with you guys come draft season. Paul Wally, one of my partners here, he does a deep dive every draft season. We do mock drafts. We do too many mock drafts probably, but it's a lot of fun. And I almost forgot to mention Coast to Coast and Rams Up, both members of the Fans First Sports Network. So you can find both our podcasts on the network. Hey, Silas, man, it's been fun. I thank you for joining us, and hopefully we just have a really good game, an entertaining game, and we'll see how it falls out. And thanks for joining me, man. Really appreciate it.
Not a problem. Appreciate you having me. Thank you.
Okay, man. Out here. Thanks a lot.
All right.
How to have fun, anytime, anywhere. Step 1. Go to ChumbaCasino.com.
ChumbaCasino.com. Got it.
Step 2. Collect your welcome bonus.
Come to Papa welcome bonus.
Step 3. Play hundreds of casino-style games for free.
That's a lot of games. All for free?
Step 4. Unleash your excitement.
Woohoo! Chumba Casino has been delivering thrills for over a decade. So claim your free welcome bonus now and live the Chumba life. Visit ChumbaCasino.com. VGW Group. No purchase necessary. Void where prohibited by law. See terms and conditions. 18+.